It takes incredible strength and will to do an Ironman challenge. Check that out. 100-plus miles biking, 2.5 miles of swimming, and a 26-mile run. But it takes even more will to do it 11 times and work through cocaine and alcohol addiction. Earlier I spoke with Todd Crandall, who competes in the Ironman World Championship in Hawaii next week. Now, Todd's been replacing his addictions with athletics and hopes others will do the same. For people to really understand and appreciate what you are doing in your life, people have to know what it's like to be addicted to crack.
Well, for me, being addicted to drugs and alcohol was an absolute nightmare. I began using drugs and alcohol at the age of 13, and it progressed to a level where I was drinking 2/5 of whiskey a day, doing 3 or 4 grams of cocaine a day, smoking crack, doing meth, heroin, anything I could get my hands on.
All right, so those are drugs that actually, they take over your life. They become an obsession. They have you by the throat. So how do you kick something like that, manage something like that with exercise?
Well, for me, thankfully, I got my 3rd drunk driving charge back in April of 1993, and that was the catalyst for me to get my life back together. And then I found athletics, and particularly the Ironman triathlon, as one of the ways that helps me stay sober.
How does it do it? Because if your personality, you've been proven to have an addictive personality, can you transfer that addiction to exercise, challenging yourself that way?
Absolutely. I've taken a negative addiction and turned it into a new focus, and that's our whole philosophy at Racing for Recovery, is just take something that's negative in your life and turn it into something productive.
Is there ever a time when you're out there running, biking, swimming, that you still feel the pull of drugs and alcohol?
I still occasionally get the urge to use drugs and alcohol, but every time I'm out there racing, I am carrying the Racing for Recovery message to help that addict and their family that is still suffering from addiction. And that just carries me through every Ironman that I'm doing.
Is there actual medical evidence that this can actually work for other addicts?
Well, I'm not a medical doctor, but I've read information on this, and exercise you get the endorphin release, and it does so much more, not only than physically, it's mentally and spiritually improves yourself as well.
Well, why not the 12-step programs that are out there? Do they work?
Well, for me, I utilized the 12-step program for the first 2 years of my recovery and was thankful for that program to be around, but I just found later on that I needed more than what the 12 steps offered. And through Racing for Recovery, our support group meetings combine family members along with the addict, so both sides can understand this horrible thing called addiction. And it's just a new approach to sobriety.
So it's kind of like transferring your addiction to something that's healthy for you.
It's transforming that negative addiction into a new focus, and it not only helps addicts, but their families as well.
All right, so when you talk about focus, give me your workout routine.
Well, this morning before I came up to do this interview, I ran 8 miles, and now I'm in the taper mode, so I don't do a lot for the next week, but I'm usually doing about 15 or 20 hours of swimming, biking, and running per week.
All right. Well, when you bike 112 miles, swim 2.4, and run 26.2 miles, I think all I would be thinking about is survival, too. Good luck. Let us know how you do in the Ironman, okay?
Thank you very much.
And we'll be letting you know, too.